Welcome into the I-80 Boys College Football Show. Chris, Michigan taking on USC. This was the game last year that ended my streak of good bets when they played, because I was betting the farm on USC to travel and beat a weakened Wolverines team. Didn't quite happen, obviously. Michigan dominated them then. Will they dominate them now? That's the question that I want everyone to answer in the comment section of this video for us. Look, Bryce Underwood, I think he's outperformed my expectations so far. And I want to put a little asterisk on that, right? Because I know people are going to come and say, well, look, he's not throwing the ball. Well, hold on one second. Okay. He hasn't wowed me throwing the ball, but I think he's kept the offense in rhythm with what they've asked him to do, right? As we know, he's a true freshman. The kid was playing high school football last year. He stepped into one of the best conferences in the country, going on the road. Michigan feel like they live on the road when they have to play anybody. Went on the road to go play Nebraska. They went on the road to go play Oklahoma. Now they're going on the road again to play USC. Okay, in a 6:30 primetime game here is going to be a good one. Here's the thing. I think he's been able to run the ball. I think he's been able to kind of make the throws when needed, and that's really what you got to ask this kid to do, right? I'm not expecting him to go in and complete 80% of his passes and put up 400 touchdowns this year or whatever. That's not what I'm expecting him. Okay, he's doing pretty damn good. The rushing attack and Justice Haynes is the biggest piece of this puzzle. Okay, it's a road game. USC ranks top 30 in rushing defense, but so did Wisconsin and so did Oklahoma. Okay, now obviously Oklahoma kind of put the brakes on them there, so it'll be interesting to see. I do think this Trojans defense is better than it has been in years. Okay, past, but not quite where they want it. I.e., that Illinois game. When I watched that Illinois game, there was one thing that kind of kept coming back to me, and that was physicality. You could tell Brett Bielema. And it was a sloppy game, I think, for both sides of it. We're talking about USC here in Illinois. I just think from a physicality standpoint, you know what Michigan is. You know what brand they want to play on the offensive side of the football. It's going to be interesting to see if that leads into my pick here in a minute. The point is, they need Underwood to keep running the ball well. Okay, opening up opportunities in the passing game. That's where we see it, right? When they played Nebraska, we saw Underwood take off. And then all of a sudden, now you got to put a spy on Underwood. Now all of a sudden, hey, we can start running some of the RPO game. We can start letting some of that underneath stuff start kind of developing, right? We can even maybe take a shot here and there. That's what you have to do when you have a true freshman quarterback on the road and you're trying to make these things happen. On the other side of the football, we know Michigan's still very good defensively, right? But USC can put up points, and Chris is going to tell us all about that here in a second. Look, I don't think, and you can say what you want to about John Mateer, you can say what you want to about Dylan Raiola, but right now, Jaden Maiviava, I mean, kid's making a little bit of mistakes, but man, he can sling it. You know who he kind of reminds me of a little bit, Chris?
Who's that?
Caleb Williams.
Ooh.
Not Caleb Williams in the NFL, but Caleb Williams is a college prospect, right?
Yeah.
Where he's got a good arm, he's athletic, he can take off and run, but he's most dangerous inside the 10-yard line, has 4 rushing touchdowns, on the year. Look, Michigan's defense is top 10 at stopping the run, so SC is going to need to throw the ball well and not turn it over in this one. I don't want to do any more injustice to the USC Trojans, so Chris, let me throw it over to you.
No, you talked about him. You hit him spot on there. Only loss this season, right? You touched on it, the 34-32 loss at Illinois with the last-second field goal there. That was kind of a crazy game at the end. You touched on him, Maiava. This kid's pretty damn good. He is over 1,500 yards. 70% completion percentage, 11 touchdowns, just 1 INT. Turnovers were kind of his problem the past couple of years, right? He did turn the ball over a lot. I know last year he definitely did, and he looks like he's gotten that corrected, which is great for USC. Running back Wayman Jordan is having a good year. Definitely the lead back there. He's got 77 carries, 537 yards, 7 yards per carry average there. For Jordan, which is really good. Also has got 5 touchdowns. Now, USC, we've known them forever now, just like the quarterback position. They always got really good receivers running around. Mekhi Lemon, this guy's a stud. Probably don't get talked about enough. Dude's got 35 catches, 600 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Jacoby Lane is another one who's averaging almost 22 yards per catch, which is crazy. These guys can move the ball on offense, like you mentioned. Like I said, I've never had issues with the Lincoln Riley-led offense. We know that. I've had problems with him on the defensive side of the ball, which I'm going to touch on some of the ranks here, dating way back to his days at OU. The ranks this year for the Trojans defense. This isn't the worst I've seen him, but definitely not the best either. 68th in the country in total defense. Okay. 29th against the run, which is actually pretty damn good there. But my God, Christian, they suck against the pass. They are 109th in the country in passing yards allowed. Now, I will give them credit here. And if you got a really bad pass defense, especially in the secondary, like it seems they do, they get to the quarterback, though. They are 7th in the country in sacks. They got 17 of them on the year. So, yeah, going to be very interesting to see what Michigan does offensively against this defense. Christian, I want to ask you this question here. It's a question we throw around quite often when we do these breakdowns. Which team needs this one more? Which coach needs this game more? USC, or is it your boys Michigan over there?
I thought about this question a lot leading into this one, Chris. It's got to be USC in my opinion. I mean, look, you cannot let a true freshman quarterback go on the road and beat you. I mean, Lincoln Riley has been in and out of the hot seat year after year there. And like we touched on, look, here's the reason why I think this, if you're SC, all the pressure is on you. What Michigan struggles to do offensively is what you suck the most at. What you're really good at is what Michigan does really good at. Make Bryce Underwood throw the football to beat you. I mean, to me, when you go back to last year and you think about it, and it's like, okay, I mean, if you come out of this game, Chris, and Bryce Underwood has less than 200 yards passing, less than one passing touchdown in this game, and Michigan figures out a way to beat you, that means that you had a major letdown somewhere along the way and that you truly aren't that good at stopping the run, I would have to think, right? Because they probably put up, 250 rushing yards with like 3 or 4 touchdowns rushing the football on you. So the question, I want to flip this back to you in a little bit here, Chris, but I want to ask it a different way. Michigan's a more physical team coming into this game, right? Michigan, to me, they're...
Yeah. Oh, no, not to interrupt you, but no, 100%. Yeah. I mean, that's what Michigan brand football is. 100%.
Michigan, I thought about this. Michigan's like that 1998 Honda Accord that has, 1,000,000 miles on it and is still running to this day. It's not very sexy, but it gets the job done. And they're just a very well-coached team. On the flip side of it, USC is like one of those new Cybertrucks that has all the, glitz and glamour, all the bells and whistles on it. And the second you take that thing off-roading, it gets stuck in the mud because it's built for looks and it really isn't that capable of a truck. And that to me is kind of like SC right now, right? Where we're looking at this. Do you think the Michigan's physicality is going to outweigh USC's potential to be that explosive on the offensive side of the football?
That's a good question, and you're exactly right. I do agree with you. I do. I think Michigan, they just play a physical brand of football. I saw it against my Huskers. My Huskers looked relatively soft up front on the lines of scrimmage. You can say what you want here. USC, I get it. Every year, Lincoln Riley comes out and tries to tell us that they've changed the defensive philosophy, right? How many times have we heard that? States back to Oklahoma. I'm one of these guys, man. Until I see it, I'll believe it. So I'm going to tie that right into my pick, to be completely honest with you. And you made a good analogy, and I actually wrote this down as well. These two teams are like polar opposites. One has a mediocre offense, but an elite defense. The other has a really good offense, but a mid to average defense. So I'm going to take the team here with the better defense, and that's Michigan. And I'm going to roll with them here, Christian. I'm taking the Wolverines 27, the Trojans 24.
Yeah, Chris, I'm gonna just go ahead and give you mine. I went back and forth, and I'm like, all right, look, at some point he's gonna look like a true freshman on the road, and that's kind of where I based my pick in this. I've got Michigan 30, USC 33, getting Lincoln Riley a head start to his transition down to become the next Miami Dolphins head coach.